You were making funny faces while you were sleeping. I decided to nap here in your room while Callista was taking her bath. She told me if there's ever trouble, I should always run here. Callista will come get me when she's done with her bath. Thanks, Corvo. It makes me feel better.
Well, Mr. Sokolov has certainly recovered. A good night's sleep has left him with an appetite.
The young lady Emily was trying to sneak into your quarters while you slept, sir. I don't think she meant any harm. First you joined us, then Overseer Martin, then Lady Emily, and Mr. Sokolov. More dishes and laundry for me. At least make me feel safer. At one time, we used to have colorful bedding. Someone bleached it all trying to kill plague germs. It's gotten so bad that I can barely walk anyway, even during the day. Those dogs from the City Watch are terrible. Just mean. No one here can sing. I think we could use some song here. Some music.
Attention Dunwall citizens.
I know it looks...
At one time, we used to have colorful bedding. Someone bleached it all trying to kill plague germs.
Attention Dunwall citizens. The Ascendancy, sir. Attention Dunwall citizens. The Ascendancy.
I know it looks... I was inventing a new kind of lock. The tumblers, shaped like snowflakes. Okay. The truth is, there is no snowflake lock. I was just, looking through the lock. I couldn't bear it if she knew. I know you're a man of honor, and I also know that you can kill me at any time. And for both of these reasons, I apologize and beg for your discretion. You require my unique services? We can quickly return to my shop.
Can't you see I'm about to bathe? Corvo, under other circumstances, I assure you I might welcome your advances. But rats, plague, and tyranny have a way of killing the mood.
respecting the property.
I can't believe this. When I took this job, they told me I'd work with good men. Ugh, I feel dirtier than when I started. If you don't mind, obviously I'd like to be alone in here. Can't you see I'm about to bathe? I understand. It was an accident. We have such a hard time maintaining privacy in such a crowded house, don't we? I can't believe this. When I took this job, they told me I'd work with good men. Thank you for being a gentleman. Now, if you'll excuse me... No! What are you doing? Can't you see I'm about to bathe? Corvo, under other circumstances, I assure you I might welcome your advances. But rats, plague, and tyranny have a way of killing the mood. I can't believe this. When I took this job, they told me I'd work with good men. Ugh, I feel dirtier than when I started. If you don't mind, obviously I'd like to be alone in here. Excuse me, a lady needs her privacy. Have you never seen a woman before? Not all of us are empresses.
It's gotten so bad that I can barely walk anyway, even during the day. Those dogs from the City Watch are terrible. Just...
The High Overseer is supposed to be the most pious man in the earth, living completely in alignment with the Seven Strictures and guiding the people in the religious faction towards spiritual health. Campbell was a farce. If not for all the blackmail material he accumulated, he'd have never been more than a lower-level initiate among overseers. Have you lost your senses? The Admiral Lord Pendleton and I have already begun using some of what we've learned from Campbell's Black Book. You've given us powerful leverage to get the Overseers on our side. I can't thank you enough. I'll speak to you later. I've got to go through Campbell's journal again. It's incredible. A decade of secrets, betrayals, and observations. Now I understand how such a man rose to the top of the Abbey. Good morning, Corvo. I believe Sokolov is awake now. The Admiral is with him now. I'm sure they are ready to start on your arrival.
Attention Dunwall citizens. Be aware that movement of evacuated areas is a serious...
Say what you will, the royal physician knows his wine.
Display your...
We must admire Lord Pendleton's composure in the face of his terrible loss.
time and the time.
That mark on your hand, is it a tattoo or a brand? It's disturbing, I must say. Surely you're not superstitious. Did you do that?
I understand your decision to tell Callista. Far be it from me to criticize a man of your well-known capacities. You require my unique services? We can quickly return to my shop.
Dear Uncle, it's been a while. Since I've heard from you, and with the way things are going, I can't be sure we'll see each other again.
What will I say when Sokolov? Has passed at his funeral. Something like this, perhaps. Sokolov is dead. Gone forever. We were rivals at the academy, yes.
Take as long as you like. Lydia brought me some tea, and I could wait all night. You just missed her. She's off to see Admiral Havelock, where Sokolov is being, housed.
He had many admirers among the aristocracy, especially those who lack a solid background in matters of natural philosophy. He was a painter.
Attention Dunwall citizens. You are required to boil any water from public fountains or the river. Anyone who has consumed untreated water must be reported to the watch.
I hope Sokolov will cooperate. I'd hope to have him paint my portrait again one day. Just me this time. It's not that I object to holding him hostage for a while, since he's been aiding the Lord Regent, but it's a shame. I always found him rather charming.
Anton Sokolov dined with us at the manor several years ago. He is both brilliant and disgusting. I doubt he has changed much.
Bringing in Sokolov was a stroke of genius. The Lord Regent's got the support of most of the noble families. Who knows what bullying he's done to bring them all in line. We need information to break his hold.
Royal physician. I believe you and Corvo knew each other in former days. Unlike you, our friend Corvo knows what loyalty is.
I am loyal to my inner spirit. You are the one consorting with the most wanted man in the Empire.
It's my belief that Corvo was innocent of the death of the others. And the former spy master, Lord Regent. The ruthless tyrant bent on destroying the city, the heart of the Empire.
You are mistaken if you think there's love between me and our Lord Regent. Whatever you intend to do here, I assure you, I am beyond petty scare tactics.
If I don't scare you, Sokolov, perhaps these rats will. Even if they don't carry plague. I've heard of a swarm of rats stripping a child's body to the bone in half a minute. I've heard worse. How long do you think it'll be before you talk? Before you beg to talk?
Rats? Is that the company you keep now, Admiral?
It's the company you keep that interests us, Sokolov. We know you painted a portrait of the Lord Regent's mistress. The very aristocrat who's funding the military with her fortune. She is the key to the Lord Regent's control over the city, and we must have her name.
Sorry, Admiral. I cannot help you.
It's time to put him to the question. Whenever you're ready, Corvo. He can get us closer to the Lord Regent. It's unfortunate, but this must be done.
You're part of this rabble, but I know you have your reasons.
Yes, he does. All we need is the name of the Lord Regent's mistress. It's very simple.
I elect not to tell you. You will have to force the words from me, and I warn you, my willpower is quite legendary. King Street brandy? I didn't know any more existed. It is an extraordinary gift. I see I'm dealing with men of taste. I can tell you this much. She was always referred to as Lady Boyle. I painted her to be sure, but I never saw her face or learned her first name. You see, I painted her from behind. I assure you, she still makes a striking portrait. But I do not know which Boyle she is. I was to be introduced to her at a masked ball in her honor this very night. But I will miss that party, it seems.
A masked ball at the Boyle estate. Tonight, the timing is perfect, Corvo. But the Boyles are wealthy and ruthless, so security will be very tight.
Of course, you already have a mask, don't you, Corvo?
He's right. You will be able to mingle with them once you're on the grounds. You'll have to find out which of the Boyle women is connected to the Lord Regent and take her out in whatever way you can devise. We're very close now. If you do this tonight, we'll be able to strike at the Lord Regent himself and put Emily on the throne. May the wind favor you.
I swear I never saw her face. Although I can vouch that her hindquarters are the finest in the city, and perhaps the Empire itself. I assume I will remain in this kennel for the duration of your little life. I don't suppose you have anything to read. Wilmot's History of the Lesser Perversions, perhaps? You're mistaken if you think I care a fig for the Lord Regent. The man's neurotic. He's the source of most of our trouble, I suspect. You're a far more interesting person than I took you for, Corvo. One day we'll have quite a conversation. I never believed you were the one to strike down the Empress, Corvo. She cared for you greatly. But I suspect you'll be the man to put the next Empress on the throne.
I hear you're off to the Boyles' little bash tonight. I have just a tiny favor I'd like to ask you. Could you give this note to Lord Shaw? You'll know him. A rather brusque man wearing a wolf's mask. In fact, he may be looking for me.
I knew Sokolov would see reason and tell us what we need to know. He never actually liked the Lord Regent.
I'll be sorry to miss the whole affair, but you know how it is. Top secret missions and all that.
It's rather important. I wouldn't trust anyone but you to deliver the message to Lord Shaw. The note is brief, but Lord Shaw will understand it. Watch yourself among the Lord Regent. noble bootlickers. I do hate to bother you with the matter of this message, but it's of importance, and you'll be able to handle it better than anyone else, I assure you.
Have you ever been in a sea battle?
Of course.
Did you ever see pirates? And did you sink any?
Of course. Dozens. Oh, yes. But that's not for young girls to hear about.
But I will be Empress, won't I? And then I'll have to sink lots of enemy ships myself. And that's what Empresses do mostly, isn't it?
Of course.
I knew it! I read that some pirate ships have witches aboard that can cause storms and make whales do what they want. Is that true?
Yes. Mostly. Maybe we should be quiet now.
Very well. Everything was so fancy at the Golden Cat, but in a different way than the palace was fancy. The old Madame Prudence said that all the ladies are princesses and the men come to admire them. My doll, Mrs. Pilson, was there the day my mother died. We both saw it. I bet Mrs. Pilson would have liked it there. I hope she's safe, wherever she is. If I ever see my doll again, I'm going to declare a holiday across the Empire.
A masked ball. You happen to have the most clever mask of them all. Entering a hive of aristocrats, all who live to kiss the Lord Regent's backside. I'd rather swim with the hagfish. Lord Pendleton is an exception, of course. The Boyle family is notorious in high society for their decadence and cruelty. I wish you well. Getting in and out of Boyle Manor won't be trouble. You could apply force or guile. Trust your gut in knowing which is the best approach. That thing with the brandy, simply brilliant.